The Second Sino-Japanese War, a crucial conflict in East Asia. The Second Sino-Japanese War, which lasted from 1937 to 1945, was a major conflict between the Republic of China and the Empire of Japan. This war was a significant theater in the broader context of World War II and had profound impacts on East Asia's political, social, and economic landscapes. The war resulted in immense human suffering, shaped the course of Chinese history, and contributed to the eventual downfall of the Japanese Empire. The origins of the Second Sino-Japanese War can be traced to Japan's imperial ambitions and China's internal strife. Japan, seeking to expand its influence and secure resources, had already established a foothold in Manchuria following the Mukden Incident in 1931, which led to the creation of the puppet state of Manchukuo. This aggressive expansionist policy was driven by Japan's desire to become a dominant regional power. China, on the other hand, was in a state of political turmoil. The Republic of China, led by the Kuomintang Nationalist Party under Chiang Kai-shek, was struggling to unify the country amid internal conflicts, including a civil war with the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Despite these challenges, the growing threat of Japanese aggression forced a temporary truce between the nationalists and communists to present a united front against Japan. The Second Sino-Japanese War officially began on July 7, 1937, with the Marco Polo Bridge Incident, a skirmish between Chinese and Japanese troops near Beijing. This incident escalated into a full-scale invasion by Japan. Japanese forces rapidly advanced, capturing major cities such as Beijing, Tianjin, and Shanghai. The fall of Nanjing in December 1937 marked one of the darkest chapters of the war, with the Nanjing massacre resulting in the deaths of an estimated 200,000 to 300,000 Chinese civilians and disarmed soldiers. The Japanese strategy focused on capturing key cities and transportation hubs to cripple Chinese resistance. Despite their initial successes, the vastness of China and the resilience of its people presented significant challenges. The Chinese government relocated its capital from Nanjing to Chongqing, continuing the resistance from the interior. Throughout the war, several key battles and campaigns shaped the conflict. The Battle of Wuhan in 1938 was a major engagement where Chinese forces managed to delay the Japanese advance despite ultimately losing the city. The prolonged conflict exhausted Japanese resources and highlighted the difficulties of maintaining control over occupied territories. The war also saw significant international involvement. The Soviet Union provided military aid to China, while the United States imposed economic sanctions on Japan, including an oil embargo in 1941. These actions strained Japan's war efforts and contributed to its decision to attack Pearl Harbor, bringing the United States into World War II. The entry of the United States and the Allies into the Pacific War shifted the balance of power. Japan, now fighting a multi-front war, faced increasing pressure. Allied support for China increased, with supplies being transported via the Burma Road and the Hump Air route over the Himalayas. The Second Sino-Japanese War had devastating consequences for China. The war caused immense human suffering, with an estimated 20 million Chinese deaths, both military and civilian. The conflict also led to widespread destruction of infrastructure and economic resources, severely impacting China's development. For Japan, the war ultimately led to its downfall. The prolonged conflict drained Japanese resources and contributed to its defeat in World War II. The surrender of Japan in 1945 marked the end of its imperial ambitions and led to the occupation and reconstruction of Japan by Allied forces. The war also had significant political ramifications in China. The temporary alliance between the nationalists and communists broke down after Japan's defeat, leading to the resumption of the Chinese Civil War. This conflict ended in 1949 with the victory of the communists, who established the People's Republic of China, while the nationalists retreated to Taiwan. The legacy of the Second Sino-Japanese War is complex and multifaceted. It played a crucial role in shaping modern China and Japan's trajectories. In China, the war is remembered as a period of national resistance and suffering, contributing to a sense of national identity and resilience. The conflict also set the stage for the rise of Communist China, which would become a major global power. In Japan, the war led to a period of reflection and reconstruction. The devastation of World War II and the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced Japan to reevaluate its militaristic policies. Under the guidance of the Allied occupation, Japan adopted a pacifist constitution and focused on economic development, leading to its post-war economic miracle. The war's impact on international relations continues to be felt. Tensions between China and Japan persist, with historical grievances and territorial disputes affecting diplomatic relations. Efforts to address the war's legacy, including war crimes and the treatment of historical narratives, remain contentious issues.